Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Origin Spotlight. I am your host, Vizelda, they, them, and I am joined by a marvelous human being, Rachel Blask at Origins. Rachel, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite subjects.
Yes, this is going to be so informative. First timer advice. Not to reveal myself or anything, but this is going to be my first Origins. So I'm going to project a lot of my fears and questions onto you.
Excellent. I love having fears projected onto me.
It's small things like, will I get lost? Will there be people I can ask for help?
There always is. Yes. And I think that it's important to know that you can ask a lot of questions, and a lot of people, even the people that are not staff or volunteers, just your fellow gamers. I mean, a lot of them have been there before. So just ask around, make a new friend, and maybe you'll play a game with someone new.
Perfect. And so let's say I do get lost. How do I identify a volunteer? Will they have a badge that says volunteer?
There are a lot of different badge types. There are going to be some that say, what days they're attending, if they're full show, if they're Friday only, Saturday only, whatever. Then you've also got volunteers. You've got game masters, staff, media, exhibitors. There's just a wide variety of people that attend. And then also you are going to see some shirts that are very obvious that say staff or volunteer. Awesome. And so we'll make those very, very obvious. Also, Adam, our person who is the wizard of all things signage, has made sure that there is lots and lots of directorial things. One of my favorite things that he makes is the floor clings. So if you are looking as like, it's follow the yellow brick road to games, it's great.
Oh, heck. Okay, that will be crucial for me. I really look forward to that.
Absolutely.
So newcomers, whether or not you have your badge already, you can get that at the entrance, I believe. There's some basic stuff. You have to prove your vaccination status. And then once you're in, if you want to get a badge, what do we expect? What will that look like? Because that's usually the most overwhelming part, is the lobby.
Absolutely. When you first come in, there is a full registration area. And there are going to be clearly marked lines, whether or not you have pre-regged, if you are registering on site for the first time at the door. Exhibitors go this way. There's so many things that our volunteers and our staff do to make sure that everything is very clear and organized on that first day for sure. It's a good setup.
Oh, that's excellent. So once you've got your badge, you're ready to go. What next?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I would definitely say, number one, don't overextend yourself, because the convention center is very large. There are over 5,000 events going on throughout the whole 4 or 5 days. You need to make sure and pace yourself. Know that you're not probably going to get to everything, and just make sure that you get enough sleep and take your breaks during out the show. And then just plan to come the next year and see even more.
Manage your expectations.
Yes.
One of my first cons, I really thought that I could play, 3 board games, 4 tabletop games, watch 2 panels, and do a workshop. No, I couldn't do that in a day. So please manage your expectations. We have a lot of events that have been registered, and they are up for your viewing pleasure. While you can't yet register yourself for these events, that's not for 11 more days, I believe. Check out what there is. Get an idea of what you want to go look at, because it's fun to kind of wander around, but it does help if you have a plan and you know where you want to go when.
That's right. Definitely pay attention to your own personal interests. And one of the other things that people, even in the past, I've attended and not even realized this was going on, but there is actually a second convention within the convention called GDEX. GDEX is a video game convention, and they actually have joined us, and this is going to be their 10th year. They have their own set of booths, their own events going on, their own special guests. YouTuber Mars is going to be there. Also, we've got all of ours as well, and we're just going to try to merge the two, and your one badge gets you into all of it.
Yes, that's something too that I don't know if folks, well, if you're new, you wouldn't quite know, but your badge now gets you into everything. There might be a couple of events that are outside of that, and they will have their own charges for their own personal events, like their own personal resources and whatnot, but you're not paying for anything else. Your badge you get all of it. So
Absolutely.
It is so worth it. Okay, so now that we know about GDEX, we've got video games. I'm sure they have some events, there's tournaments. We want to go check out some other things that are happening. Where would you recommend us to go?
Well, like you were mentioning, check out the events list. The events list is being populated as we speak because putting in over 5,000 events does take time to, schedule it to each table. And that's how that works. They actually will have a map. They will show exactly what table they're going to be at. And then a small description of that. And within the site book, we're going to have maps so that you can see where everything is. It's very easy to navigate if you use the tools that are provided. And one of the tools that we have also is the app.
Yes.
Now, the app is actually in both the Play Store as well as the App Store. And it's still being populated. We're still filling it up with the exhibitor list. They are connecting it to our event system. So you'll be able to click on it and then go and register for events there. And then it should auto update your app so that you know what's going on for your personal stuff. And when you go to download the app, what you're going to do is use the email address that you use to get your badge. And Perfect. It is only for you and it's secure to you. So there you go.
I love that. I don't know if this is me like setting my bar too high, but can the app notify you of like events that you might have signed up for?
Well, I'm actually going to be going in and scheduling certain notifications for things that are going on in terms of, general announcements based on what kind of badge you have. So like the exhibitors, I'm going to be like, hey, exhibitors, the exhibit hall opens in X amount of time. And then attendees, hey, did you know that this is going on? And, if it's something interesting to you, great. If it's not, glance at your phone and put it back down and get back to your game, right?
Heck yes. Because there's going to be a couple of like main stage events too that like if folks don't really have any information on, just a little snippet to kind of let them know like, hey, there's going to be D&D played on the stage. Maybe you signed up for a tabletop game at some point during the day. You might want to check this out. Like, I love that.
Yes, absolutely. We're trying to have, and I'm talking them into doing some fun little selfie cams within the app. So you can, go to a certain area, take a picture with of yourself and upload that onto social media. It'd be really fun.
I love that. Not that I'm vain, but I love to take selfies.
Who doesn't? That's great.
Right up my alley. And really quickly, I do just want to address a question that we had in chat, just to elaborate a little bit more on the VIG experience and what that is all about. So for those who are unfamiliar, VIG is Very Important Gamer. It's sponsored by Arcane Wonders. You get access to the VIG Lounge, which is a separate games library. In theory, I think it's going to be a little bit quieter because all the cool kids are going to be in there. We have some amazing special guests that will be coming and going from the lounge, like Satine Phoenix, Jason Charles Miller. There's a lot of really other cool names, but I'm blanking on them right now.
Yes. Night Mage Wilson, and he's the cosplay special guest, as well as don't forget Jameson Stone.
Yes. And then the author, Kat Rambo.
Yes, Kat Rambo. We have so many exciting people coming to visit.
Yes. So you get access to that lounge where you can meet some really cool people. There's special VIG exclusive events. And my personal favorite is you get a little VIG gift bag with awesome games from Arcane Wonders, the OP, and other Gamma members. So like VIG is kind of a big deal. if you are interested, and not to make it seem like ultra extremely exclusive, even though it really is, there's less than 40 badges left. So you kind of want to get in on this, especially if you want to meet these cool people. I'll probably be in that lounge from time to time. And who doesn't want to meet me? So if that doesn't convince you, I really don't know what will.
Come meet me, guys. Get a badge.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's great.
That does lead me into a follow-up question. The game, where will the board games be?
The game library,
That's what
honestly,
it's called.
I don't know the exact spot off the top of my head. I know that is something. The which hall? The hall, okay, so in the back behind C, we've got the hall that then we've also got the exhibit hall. So there's the two there.
Okay.
So okay, so behind the gaming hall, you've got your exhibit hall, you've got your gaming hall, and then behind that, you've got the board game library. And I think that it's called the game library this year. And it does have over 1,000 games.
Oh my goodness.
1,000. And I think Buckeye Game Fest has some involvement in that. I was talking to Chris and Genchi the other day. Yeah, they are managing it, and it's awesome. Pretty cool how they have that available, and you can try just about anything.
Okay, newbies, it can be really intimidating sometimes to, like, when you go to a convention, you don't want to necessarily sit at a table with strangers doing something that might take a little bit more social interaction. Board games is like neutral territory. Everybody, if you have the time and you've planned it accordingly, check out the game library and play a board game, any board game. It is one of the most, it's a beautiful experience to have when you're at a convention and you just pick up a game that you've never touched before, and then you have the time of your life.
Yep, that's definitely my happy place.
I love that. So maybe we can expect to see you there a little bit?
Oh, I rarely have time to actually play a game at a convention. I
had a feeling.
But I always have high hopes of some time of that.
Well, if you're in the VIG lounge, maybe I'll pull up a board game and snag you for 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness. I will throw down at Shobu anytime. Let's go.
I'm done.
But you can see all of these new games. And again, some of the hot new games that are going to be on the exhibit hall floor will probably be in that VIG lounge. They may not even be in the game library yet, because we have a lot of those games being given to us by the people providing swag. So we've got, how much do you know about the exhibit hall, Bea?
Not enough. What can you tell me about it?
We have about 300 exhibitors, and it is a big old chunk of space. Let me tell you, you could spend probably the whole day in there.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time.
I know. So what I would like to, just give that first time attendee a quick note about is, yes, all the big boys are in the front. They have all of the cool stuff, the big flashy booths, the tons of demos going on, lots of big flashy promotions. But what I also want to remind you guys of is those that are in the back row, the ones that it's their first time and they're, coming out and they're having this first exciting interaction with the public. They've made their game, they're starting out, everybody's been there, right? And I want to make sure that everybody in the back row is also worthy of your attention.
Oh my gosh, I love that a lot, though. I would never have even considered that as a thing. It's hard to be not glamorized or charmed by the flashing lights and the big booths, but you have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And those people are just willing. They just want to talk to you. They're passionate about their games. They want to show you what they've made. And I mean, I even see some in the chat that are going to be there that are of the small indie publisher types. So
that makes me happy. That does lead to a question in chat. Does that 300 exhibitor also include the G-Dex vendors?
No, I don't think it does. I think that because in the map, it'll show the area that you have the bigger booths, and then over in the corner there is a chunk that is the G-Dex booths. So that will be highlighted in your site book, and that will also be on the app.
Oh, that is going to be fantastic. Also, just it all sounds very accessible too. What with signage, there's going to be people to help you. You'll have access to the map. I'm sure there's going to be like large maps anyways included in the signage. So even though I get lost very, very easily, I think I'm going to be okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's marvelous. What else can folks kind of prepare themselves for as first-time convention goers to Origins?
Well, when I was doing a lot of demos as a publisher working in the exhibit hall myself, I would always ask, it was part of my pitch, hey, have you drank some water today? That actually is a question that I asked. I'm like, okay, we need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because if you are not taking care of yourself, then I cannot sell you things. So here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you make sure that you get a drink and take a break if you're overwhelmed? Just step out, run to the restroom, get a chance. I mean, there's a lot going on, so much stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
Always take care of yourself.
Is there going to be a quiet room? I remember there was talk of something to that effect.
There absolutely is. We actually have designated a quiet room. It's also on designated on the map in the site book and in the app. And it is in the upstairs, towards the back. So you're away from the din. You can go in, lights low, everything kind of relaxed, and just recharge if you are one of those that need that.
Oh my goodness. That is game changing.
Yes.
Seriously, I get overstimulated when I'm in crowds sometimes. It's just loud. There's lots of lighting. There's lots of people. So it's nice to just find a place to breathe, drink some water, have a snack if necessary, if you carry granola bars with you. What are some good convention snacks to bring with you? This is a question I need help with too.
Oh my goodness, I live on Cliff Bars. I live on Cliff Bars. I don't ever have time to eat at a convention. I know that one of my best friends, Julia Hearn, when I would work her booth for Greenbrier Games, I would always go into the back of the booth where she had this just array of different dried fruits. Things like popcorn, sometimes, usually like the cutie oranges. Those are great for. They're like those little tiny oranges that are easy to peel.
Yeah.
Yes, throwing those in your backpack. Gosh, what else? Jerky. Depending on what your own personal dietary restrictions are.
There is vegan jerky.
Yeah,
I've had that before. It didn't taste great, but the texture reminded me of what I assumed jerky still tasted like. So that was okay.
Yep. some sort of protein to keep yourself going for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I see stuff in the chat.
Yes. Okay. So we're just gonna roll back. We've addressed VIG, but I'll give it another rundown in just a moment. Man vs. Meeple has a really good point though when it comes, since we're kind of on the topic of food. If you do hear about a place and they take reservations, make them. I think that's a standard for any convention that you go to, is know where the food is, and if you want to eat out, make a reservation.
Absolutely. And that is such a good time to connect with friends, because everybody needs to eat. Whenever I would run any kind of like a breakfast for friends, I would say, okay, yes, I know that you want to sleep, but you also are going to work the floor for all of Saturday. You need some breakfast. So come and just have breakfast with me and we can reconnect.
I love that. It's really important. Seriously, I don't really think about eating or sleeping at conventions, and that's not okay. We're telling you to take care of yourselves today, and I really want to impress that upon everybody.
Yep, absolutely. And shower.
Yes.
Daily, please.
I feel like that's become less of, just in my convention experience, especially like in the past 5 years.
Absolutely.
I don't think I've never had any personal issues with that, which makes me feel very, very lucky. That or folks have just become a little bit more conscious of that fact, which I appreciate regardless.
Absolutely. We appreciate that too.
And wear good footwear. Be kind to your feet. Don't wear cute shoes because they're probably going to hurt you.
Yeah, for real. Absolutely. I had so many blisters. I decided to even wear, I just have some Hey Dudes that were nice slip-on shoes and they're super comfortable for every day.
Yeah.
Still wasn't good enough for the convention floor, for sure.
Standing, walking, pacing.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Yep.
Okay, so what else was there in chat? There was a mention of a soda thing, and I really wanted to ask you if you knew what that was. Buffalo Bill's Soda. Is that a vendor that you know of?
Yes. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Now I know I'm pretty sure. Yes. So there is a thing called Silver City. And it's basically a refillable mug is what I'm thinking it is.
Okay.
So you just go, you get this $40 mug and then you go and just refill it throughout the entire time. And it's whatever you want in it. I'm pretty sure, obviously a non-alcoholic, but to that effect.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you, Tabletop Test Drive, because I'm going to have to go there.
And they're always so cute too. It's very collectible.
I like that a lot. Any special guests or media guests? So we had addressed a little bit of the VIG and kind of what you expect there. To give another quick rundown, sponsored by Arcane Wonders, you get access to a separate games library. There will be special guests like Kat Rambo, Satine Phoenix. Rachel, what were the other names?
The other ones are her darling husband, Jameson Stone, also Jason Charles Miller, Night Mage, who is Michael Wilson, who's actually a sheriff, but also does amazing cosplay. Amazing. He is incredible looking. So I cannot wait. And I believe all three of those are the cosplay contest judges, Satine, Jameson, and Night Mage. And Monica Paprotski, she is going to be our MC. She was one of our judges last year, and she is always the amazing cosplay beauty that is at Cephalofair Games, which are the creators of Gloomhaven.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. Them, and then there's Kat Rambo, who's like the world's best author. They do amazing works. So there's going to be fantastic guests you could run into. We've got exclusive events. There's going to be a gift bag from our sponsors like Arcane Wonders, the OP, and Gamma members. So again, the VIG, it's not worth your time because you want all of those amazing things. And there's less than 40 badges left. Less than 40. Yes. You need to get this today, probably. I'm making that prediction. Get it today.
And I am even looking up more information because one of the questions that I saw was also media. And I actually am in charge of the media press list for Origins. And that solidified today.
Ooh, oh my gosh, this is really exciting.
Yeah. So for the press list, let me just run through a few names here. Ryan and Bethany are going to be there from Board Game Reviews. We've got Hungry Gamer, One Board Family, Tabletop Rebellion. Danny Standring is a huge TikTok legend. Grant Lyon as well. Let's see. Maple University is coming all the way from Australia. We've got the Charity Board Gamer. He always does an amazing meetup. And there is a gathering room for meetups. So awesome. If that is something that you're wanting to host, please reach out to the staff and we can see if we can get you a time. Love Thy Nerd, Ruel Gaviola from Tabletop Tonight and works also with Rotto. We've got Stay at Home Mom Reviews, which is a huge mommy blogger that is doing amazing things and also recently joined the board of Gamma, which runs Origins.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sheer Boredom. Oh, this is a fun one. Sheer Boredom Table Talk. It is a guy named Roberto Lopez, and he actually is a hairstylist as well as a gamer. So sheer and bored. And he actually asked me if it was okay if he could cut my hair at Origins for content.
Oh my God.
I'm like, of course. Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. When somebody amazing asks to cut your hair, oh yes.
Once in a lifetime opportunity. Oh my goodness.
So Roberto's going to cut my hair. It's going to be a blast. Professor Meg, she is an amazing Instagram influencer, as well as some magazines like Casual Game Revolution, as well as Gaming Trends. Gnarly Carly, Level Up board game podcast, Man versus Meeple. I just gave them their whole crew badges for it.
Nice.
Queer Tabletops, Counterspell Culture, another RPG influencer. There is amazing people that are going to be there. I cannot wait. And we are going to have a media reception this year where they all get to meet.
Oh my goodness. If there hasn't already been things to look forward to, just that list has me like giddy with excitement.
Mm-hmm. So many amazing, talented people in the board game industry.
Holy heck. I feel like we probably covered quite a bit. I know we haven't mentioned hotel blocks. So it is important, y'all, if you haven't already got your hotel secured and set up, you should probably do that as soon as possible. They are running out of space. And if you want a place to sleep, we recommend that you look into that as soon as you can.
Absolutely. I think the 15th is kind of the end of those blocks. So get on it.
Yes. 5 days, not a lot. All right. What else can we look forward to? I feel like I don't even like, is it possible that there's even more?
There's even more. There is actually. There is. I just want to let everybody know that we are going to be live streaming with an amazing host named B Zelda during the entire show. We're going to be Stephen Bonacore is going to be part of that. I'm going to be part of that. We're going to have several media that are also chipping in content. You'll get to see demos, hot new releases, and all of this is going to be streaming live on YouTube. And we will also have a very easy way for you to click into it on the app, so you're not missing anything. We're going to have 6 Sides of Gaming, who's going to be covering all of the main stage events. I don't even know. I'm so excited. I could just burst at this point.
I can't even there's so many things to look forward to that I haven't processed most of it either. So I get it.
Much to do.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's going to happen. We've touched on, okay, what I actually wanted to ask a little bit about, workshops and panels.
Oh yeah, seminars for sure.
Yeah, what can folks look forward to for that? Like, what if I've never been to a seminar before? What can I expect?
Now, I haven't looked to see what any of the specifics are, because with 5,000 events, I don't know where all to look at this point. It's just overwhelming. So, as a general rule, when you go into a panel, you are going to expect a moderator to be a part of that. They're going to talk to a panel of experts, usually with plenty to teach about the topic. And I've gone to some that were ADHD in gaming. I've gone to some that were women in gaming. I've gone to some on, like how to be a storyteller for RPGs, there's so many different things. And I know also within the site book and in the app, we're going to have an easy way for you to see which events are specifically being run by the special guests themselves.
I love that.
You'll have the opportunity to sign up to be a part of one of Satine Phoenix's RPG games, or, if you're going to learn about how she likes to DM, things like that. And then also we've got the authors doing things for budding writers, giving them tips. There's so many amazing ways to have these talented people plug in and invest in our attendees.
I love seminars. I just took a quick peek. There's about 100 that you could take a look at right now. Just to look at, a little under, but it genuinely touches every topic, from gender to creating NPCs to building your first game to art and graphic and war games. I love this. Building a Kickstarter. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love panels. So this is going to be fantastic. And again, with access to the app and being able to figure out when the special guests are putting on a panel, that is something that I think everybody wants to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. I actually, one of the ones that I went to, I'm guessing it was at PAX. I got to go to one about ADHD and gaming, and that was almost life-changing for me to learn how they do that, how to really connect and work with neurodivergence in gaming, and that's something that's close to my heart with my family. So there's so many ways to plug in and actually learn and take this love of gaming home with you, and just having, that's what I mean by having these panelists investing in our attendees.
Yes, no, it's going to be an incredible experience. Even the workshops, I just took a quick look as well. Building weapons, building shields, making leather dice trays. It's endless. Rope ties.
Yep,
I didn't even know that was a thing. I am thrilled. Thrilled at that. That's so cool, though.
Oh, I love it. I love all the diversity of all the topics. If you're a gamer, there's something for you.
Oh my goodness. I might need to find time to make a sword.
Yes, I'm sure you'll have time for that. I absolutely want to make sure we do touch on something really important that I didn't even remember. We have a family room this year.
Oh my gosh.
So if you are, say local and you want to pop in for the day for a Saturday only or something like that, bring your kids. And while you cannot leave them unsupervised there, we do have a way, have a space set up that's really good to create those family experiences for you. A certain selection of games that's going to be a good fit for certain ages of kids, and really, again, I am all about investing into people and investing into kids and showing them, that board games are amazing, and there are so many ways to connect with your family through that.
And it doesn't have to be Monopoly. You don't have to be raised to resent your family because Monopoly tore you apart.
I mean, there are so many other ways to do that. So why not?
No, that's excellent. I really appreciate that. I mean, even from a community standpoint, having a space for children makes it more accessible for the families to take the day off and actually visit a convention versus having to find a babysitter and put the kids somewhere. When you can bring them, they can have fun and they can learn a love of nerdy things in a way that makes it just fun. There's no shame, there's no shade. Everything is just fantastic. That does lead me into a follow-up question. I'm sure you probably have an idea about this, but what does the anti-harassment policy look like at Origins?
I specifically have this information. Let me just double check because I want to make sure that I can give you that. And there are all of this is covered in the site book. All of this will be covered in the show policies for all of that's going to be in the app as well. Our anti-harassment policy is going to be on page 6 of the site book.
Perfect.
And we are committed to safety of every person of the show. We have a convention code of conduct policy. We are contracting with counseling professionals to train our staff how to respond to inappropriate behavior. We don't tolerate harassment in any form. Convention participants reported or caught violating this policy can be expelled without refund at the discretion of show management. And our harassment is detailed as to what that would look like. And it's very, very specific in that paragraph, but it also, the next one is saying, if a person tells you no, you are expected to desist immediately. No means no. Stop means stop. Go away means go away, and attire is not consent. So those are all things that we will take care of. So I am really happy to be able to, I feel like we can provide that safe space.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've got like a side gig reading like anti-harassment and code of conduct policies for conventions. And Origins is one that I really, really enjoy. Like, it's well written, it's comprehensible, and it's easy to consume because you know exactly what it says and it's easy to follow. You can't mess that up. And I know in chat you said this is a big twist on the conversation, but like, you can't go to a convention without having an idea that they at least have a policy like this in place, because it is very important for these, like, a massive space like this needs to be safe. There needs to be people that enforce a safe space. It's kind of necessary.
I actually, if I was a first time convention attender And I was going to be at a place that had cosplay. That actually, and of course my computer is freezing up right now, but there are weapons that you can see. Have you had experience with how to tag those weapons to make sure that they've been inspected?
Not at all. I once bought a
Okay.
sword, but then I left the convention right away and I got stopped by the police. So that's been my only experience with a weapon at a convention.
Okay,
don't
well,
walk around town with metal swords, y'all.
I mean, that is something that you could probably learn from, that's for sure. I was just going to note that in the site book, and therefore also the FAQ in the app, we talk about what peace bonding is.
Okay.
And of course, that is where it is lagging out. Basically, it is inspected by someone who's qualified to do so, and then they have like a little what is it called, zip tie.
Oh,
and if you have the zip tie on it, means that it has been inspected for sharp edges and things like that. It is approved, and
Neat.
it is not a real weapon.
Okay.
So you can feel safe if you see a weapon and it has been tagged.
That's so cool. I would never have even considered that. So that's really important. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, now it's actually coming up. It says we utilize zip ties to mark items as safe as and inspected. And security will have the zip ties on hand. Once it's zip tied, you're not permitted to remove it. And we have that at the security office right outside the exhibit hall.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. We do have a couple of quick questions in chat.
I like it.
Yeah, what kind of events are going on after the convention hall hours?
Oh.
Is that something that we even have a hand in, or is that something that like you kind of have to keep your feelers out to find out?
Well, there's an insider trick. Okay, so many people set up events on Facebook. When I go to a convention, I will actually search local events, and a lot of them, the algorithm does amazing things for you. So it knows what your friends are doing. And so it brings up those ones that are local. So if you're looking for, publishers get-togethers or things like that, that's another way to kind of see what's going on afterwards. Within the industry, if there are things going on, I know that like we're going to be, if Gamma is sponsoring anything, we will be contacting exhibitors or whoever the industry people are that are invited. But for gamers, we just game and game and game, and then we game some more.
Yes, I love that though, because like I know a lot of games will run through the night and into like the wee hours of the morning. And then there's going to be a ton of events after the exhibit hall, including Satine's Quest, the Smithies. Yes, there's a comedy show and probably a lot more that I don't even know about yet.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I just want to play werewolf. I've always heard of like the legendary late night werewolf games where like hundreds of people get together and play that. That's my goal, I think.
Absolutely.
Are there any like late night tabletop or like board games or like just what are those social deduction games that you're ever into?
Oh gosh, for social deduction, there, like you said, Bezier runs werewolf just nonstop, and those are so fun to get into. And I always am walking along the concourse late at night, and I see these big circles of chairs and people just having an absolute blast trying to find the werewolf. It's just part of that.
Oh my goodness, that makes me so happy. I do believe that the social deduction room, it does go all night in the Short North. Is that
Short North is the name of the neighborhood, and so I'm pretty sure that there is something there that is within the convention center that will be pointed out. The Short North Ballroom.
Okay, no, that makes sense. It's just above registration.
Right.
Okay, perfect. what we're basically saying, y'all, is play Werewolf late at night because there will be many of those games available, and then you never have to sleep. But also, please sleep and take care of yourself.
Also, please.
All right. So the last question that I really enjoy, and I don't necessarily know how to answer, Tabletop Test Drive asked if there's a theme to this year's event. And it is, we've got the Art of Games because there's the art festival happening. Is there any collaboration specifically between the two?
We've just had some amazing art coming through. We're doing some really cool pins that we're doing. That emphasize the influence of art in the convention this year.
Okay.
I know that we have a artist's alley that is in the back of the exhibit hall, so there's always going to be that. I did hear that we're going to have 3 Magic the Gathering artists that are going to be near each other, so that'll be really exciting. And also, as an aside from the art, like paint and take is a huge thing that you can do where you are always working on, you get to play with paint for the minis. Paint and takes. WizKids does a lot of that kind of stuff. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Because I
hands
know
on.
Somebody asked if there's any painting competitions, I believed it was. And I don't think there's any competitions that we have per se, but there will be painting events. Oh my gosh. And you get to take what you painted?
Yep. Yep. They do really cool stuff. And I mean, at those events, they have people that are, going to come around and give you tips, tricks, things like that. People that know what they're doing. Like Tabletop Test Drive, he's also a very, very accomplished painter. So
that's
absolutely.
Fantastic. That's why they were looking into that. I cannot blame you.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Oh, that is marvelous. Okay, so there's still going to be some collaboration. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but this year's our film festival, I believe there was a theme for that.
That one I think has escaped my purview, so I am not sure on that one. It is really hard to know absolutely everything that goes on in this festival because there is so much. It's just nonstop.
Seriously, and again, like y'all, 11 days, and then you can start registering for the events that you want.
Yes, May 21st.
But for now, just look at everything. There's something like 2,000 events already that have been scheduled. Yeah.
Ooh, that's fantastic.
Kind of outrageous. I love it though. There's just so much to look forward to. So start planning now. Beyond that, very useful advice. Rachel, I feel like, have we covered most of it all? We had to have.
Oh my goodness.
Games.
Film, do all the demos. Go and check out all the things.
Demos, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I think you're going to be checking out a bunch of demos. We've got a whole extra room for spotlight tables where you can come and do demos. Gosh, games. So many games.
Yes. I think, just keep an eye out for any more news. Follow the Origins Game Fair socials. Get on the email subscribe list. Continue watching Origins Spotlight. We are here every Tuesday to talk to you about Origins Game Fair convention because, y'all, it's coming up so quickly. I just...
so fast!
I'm mentally prepared and I am not, but I'm very excited about it.
It's going to be a blast.
Chat, if you have any more questions, now is the time to ask them as we are wrapping up. Rachel, any more sage advice? Any advice that you've kind of learned through trial and error? Because now I'm contemplating have I had any tough experiences that I can now use that and teach somebody else? For me, it was really the shoes. You as well. I got bad blisters one time and never again.
Absolutely. It's so gross. I lost a toenail at one point because it was so bad.
What were you wearing?
I am pretty sure that was a Gen Con thing, but I'll blame Gen Con for being like that.
I feel like somebody must have stepped on your toes multiple times just in various areas.
Yes. So I think I always carry a backpack, not a huge backpack that is going to affect everyone around you, but it is a small backpack that I keep things like mints in, things like just like Band-Aids. I'm definitely one of those people that if you need something on the floor, like a paper clip, like a safety pin, like all of those things, I keep that kind of stuff in my bag. So if you see me and you're like, oh my gosh, I need a insert, fill in the blank, I probably have it. I think that I probably should buy stock in Cliff Bars at this point. And like fruit by the foot, things like that. It's just ridiculous, all the fun things that you can have with in your backpack. But that's probably my biggest one is be prepared, keep things that you need close by, and then also be willing to share with the people who didn't think about it.
Like me, I'm gonna forget gum. If somebody wants to share some with me, I'll accept it.
Yes, please.
Small things like that. I under normal circumstances with Origins Spotlight, I often ask my guests like a series of questions about your convention experiences. However, you've answered like 80% of them just in our conversation about what it would be like for first timers. Yeah. So I guess I'll just ask you some specifics that will still help our first timers. Like you mentioned bags. What is an appropriate bag? Like, should I be bringing my luggage suitcase that I travel with on an airplane?
Let's not. There is a known phenomena where there is this big, beautiful backpack from boardgametables.com. And a lot of people want to carry it around, but it is a beast. It is size of, a 11 by 11 game, like a Kallax, right? So it's a big,
it's like the size of a toddler
rectangle. It's like wearing a kid on your back. Yeah. Okay. So, there are a lot of people who like to wear those. There is a equally large sect of people who despise the people who wear those because they're always the one who got hit when they turned. Yes. And you literally are like this. So I have usually just a standard kid backpack that I just throw on my back. I would say in the past I have tried to take my laptop to conventions to try and get work done. Never get it. Never open it once. Don't even bother.
That is really good advice, actually. Thank you for that one.
Yeah. I always take it. I set it up in my hotel room. I'm going to get some work done. I never actually open it. So
you're only in your hotel room to sleep. And that's like crash sleep,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I am out of my room probably from, I don't know, like 7 a.m. to midnight. So it's just, yes, exactly. So
we've covered snacks, bags, footwear. Again, y'all wear something comfortable, something you can walk in, something you can stand in. There's going to be lots of places to sit down should you need it. There's going to be a quiet room. I'm really just thinking of
carabiner for your water bottle. Hang it on your backpack.
Oh, I love that.
That's one that I always do. Yes, because you want your hands free so that you can experience the booths as much as possible. Also, hand sanitizer. I keep even the spray kind in my pocket.
Perfect.
I would say those are the main things that I do.
Will there be sanitizer stations just like around the convention?
Oh, absolutely.
Pumps. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Of course. That's kind of like standard life now.
It is.
Sure. Which is great for con crud.
Seriously, we're doing so much to finally fight it now, and I really appreciate it.
I know. I haven't come home sick from a convention in so long. Nice. Oh my goodness.
Okay, washing our hands makes a world of difference.
That's another thing. I always amp up my vitamins right before I go.
Ooh, I've never thought of that.
I always do. Like I would say the 10 days before the event, I grab some zinc and some vitamin C, and I just start that. And again, it just definitely helps me to get rid of all of those chances for things to creep in.
I love that. Huh. That's really smart. On that thread a little bit, I think bringing like a Tylenol or Advil as well.
Absolutely.
Painkillers. That's really smart. Oh my gosh, y'all, don't forget to pack your own medication.
I've done that too.
Oh my God, that is a nightmare for me. I would just spend the whole con crying.
Yes. Well, and then trying to, if you do forget, then you're trying to, coordinate transfers to a local Walgreens and all that stuff. Definitely make sure you have a nice packing list.
Yes. Listing out that kind of stuff, medication, outfits. I feel like outfits are never a really big thing. I usually just wear whatever's comfortable. You're going to be in that for probably 12 hours, you know?
Yep.
You don't get a lot of time for outfit changes. But I feel like that's not often a main consideration for a lot of con-goers unless you're cosplaying. And that's a whole...
Layers if you're freezing in the morning, and then throw your jacket into your bag in the afternoon when it gets, especially when more people come in the afternoon and the overall air temperature increases. Yeah, absolutely.
Although it's gonna be like what, July?
It is gonna be June.
It's June. I get my days mixed up all the time.
The 12th.
There we go. Oh my god, that's so hecking soon. It's gonna be hot.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
I'm ready for minimal layers, but we'll still do layers because that principle still stands.
Yes.
And I guess my final set of advice for new con-goers would be, don't try to buy everything in the vendor hall. Maybe set out to buy one thing for sure, and then let yourself get surprised by what you find.
And definitely don't wait till the last day.
No, you won't get it.
It'll be gone. It will be sold out by then, for sure.
Is there something that you always try to get whenever you go to a convention, like dice or earrings?
Cat Rider, Glory Hound, she always gets dice at each one. I typically don't. I try to sometimes get like a piece of jewelry. I've gotten like a meeple ring, like made out of glass. Yes. Gamer Glass is a vendor that goes to BGG Con. Yes, it's Rahdo's wife, Jen. She does amazing glass. And then also, I'm trying to think, usually I have a D20 necklace that I got.
Oh, yes.
Fun little things like that.
That's fantastic. I had asked that question to somebody previously, and they had rephrased it a little bit for me, that every time you buy something at a convention, especially jewelry, it reminds you of that time. Like that D20 necklace will take you back to wherever you bought that. And I really, really love that.
Absolutely.
So with that sage piece of advice, I think we've really set everybody up for success. Should you have any questions, you can contact us on socials. Rachel, if they wanted to email somebody for assistance, is there a place that they can do that, or just the web form on the website?
Yeah, I would go with the contact information. Cynthia usually will sort through all of those and get them to go to all the right places. There are so many different people working on this to make it a success. I want to make sure that it gets to the right person.
Perfect. I do believe there's also a discussion Facebook group. There's a volunteer Facebook group. There's a Game Master Facebook group. So if you need some like-minded people to kind of ease you, to prepare you for your first convention, we have the spaces for you. So you can be set up for success and have the best weekend of the year. Rachel, if folks want to find and support you online, is there somewhere where they can do that?
Well, absolutely. You can find me at media@gamma.org if you ever want to reach out and say hi. Also, I am around. You can also find us on the Gamma Game Manufacturers Association page on Facebook, as well as all the socials that we are on too.
Fabulous. Thank you. And I have been your host, B Zelda. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. I'm a podcaster, streamer, TTRPG writer, and the community manager for D&D Adventures League. And I cannot wait to see everybody at Origins Game Fair this coming summer. Until next week, though, we will see you then. Bye.